Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
Do you think it was a spider
Who?
that munched on my arm and made my whole arm look like Cloverfield?
It looks like spider bites.
It's crazy.
It's either one spider from the outside,
Yeah.
or 10 from the inside.
Well, oh God, I hope not, because I'm gonna have dreams of like egg sacs bursting my body.
One of my worst nightmares.
Holy fuck!
Your arm doesn't look good though. I'm
Nope.
just going to be straight up. Your arm looks bad.
You know, I was checking Archie Moo for ticks because he was running through the tall grass, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, maybe I should look at myself, and then I found this bite on my arm. But it wasn't a tick. I think it was just a very angry spider that like got trapped in my long sleeve when we were hiking, and it just chomped on me 100 times. But now,
Spider trapped in my long sleeve sounds like an amazing rap lyric. Somebody
Yeah.
famous who, like, you know, all the hangers on who want something once somebody made it.
spider trapped in my long sleeve. Yeah.
And it also
Yeah.
sounds like a nightmare for you to be dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know what else is fucking great about 2021 and the beginning of this fucking new year? I have health insurance.
What?
Yes. So, you know, I
Ring
could,
the alarm, but not the ambulance one. That's
yeah,
great.
I mean, I could go get it looked at. I'm not going to because, you know, COVID. But,
Sure.
you know, if I get to a point where I'm really concerned about this arm thing that's happening, I can get it looked at.
Have you gone to CVS or done anything over the counter wise to take care of yourself?
I've gone down some weird online rabbit holes. I have exfoliated and used a lot of Neosporin.
Okay.
And I'm just keeping an eye on things. But, you know, you've seen it. It's not good.
It ain't good.
Nope.
It looks like you're allergic to spiders.
Yes. And, you know, I'm guessing that I might be. I'm allergic to all kinds of weird shit. I remember years ago, I got bitten up by mosquitoes one night when I was just like out with a bunch of friends. And I had such a crazy reaction that like it was shocking and everyone else was fine. So, you know, I'm sensitive. My blood is sweet. Spiders and mosquitoes like me.
They do.
I'm delicious. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mary Jane. What up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
I'm feeling really good.
Good.
I'm feeling as good as how we celebrated New Year's, in fact.
Okay, let's get into it a little bit because that was so fun and also like so goofy.
We took Molly on New Year's
Mm-hmm.
to ring in the new year with abandonment.
Yes. Letting go, resetting, feeling good,
So nice.
getting in the pocket together.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And we partied so hard.
Oh my God, we raged.
We raged.
We raged. I put on a headlamp. It felt like Burning Man all over again.
Filled a water bottle
Yep.
with water, put on a backpack,
Yep.
and we went geocaching for treasure around the neighborhood on Molly.
It was great. It was the most.
We're like looking under park benches in the middle of Melrose where there's like Supreme stores and
Yep.
Nike outlets, and we're looking under park benches like, I found it, I found it.
Late at night, LA streets are desolate and dark. Everyone's staying home as they all should be. And we were like safe. I mean, we were like, you know, all masked up and staying, you know, I mean, we were the only ones out.
Right.
And yeah.
Rolling.
Rolling. I found a nano cache, which was very exciting because I'm new to geocaching. Never done it before. This is my first time. High as hell. I fucking love it. And it was like the tiniest, coolest find. It was like this little way up high, teeny tiny little time capsule with a scroll in it that then we
Yeah.
got to like sign.
That was awesome.
It was so dope.
It was it was like the size of smaller than a button,
Yeah.
magnetized and stuck on the inside of a electrical pole.
Yeah.
And you found it. You're like, I got it. And I'm like rubbing my hands together because the molly's kicking in, and I'm just like kind of forgetting to look around. And you're like, I got it, I got it. And I run over, and there's this tiny little scroll in your hand.
Yeah.
Best feeling in the world.
It truly was. It was definitely the fucking nerdiest time that I've ever had on Molly.
Well, because after we celebrated our geocaches
Mm-hmm.
and you walked with a headlamp through the streets of California,
Uh-huh.
we went back to your place, cracked open a bottle of wine, and played.
Backgammon. We played backgammon. It was really, we raged, you guys. We went crazy. We went geocaching and then we played backgammon. with
The
a very nice
nerdiest
bottle
roll.
of Pinot Noir. It was like, it was great. It was great. Archie and Bobo were like, wow, you guys are really partying, huh?
The Atlantic is coming in its pants right now at our the way we do drugs.
It was very fucking civilized, and it was really nice.
It was so fucking fun.
And I had a great time.
Same here, Mary
Yeah.
Jane. It was a blast to do with you. Like, at first I was kind of ashamed because I'm so used to running around Vegas, you know, with 3 cigarettes and a blunt, just partying hard when I roll.
Yeah.
This was such a joy, and it was so low-key fun, and Apple Music is hitting the playlist perfectly.
It felt great. It was so reasonable, and I think that's what I want out of life this year, is for things to be reasonable once again. And that felt like a very reasonable, like a reasonable time, a reasonable trip, a reasonable experience, like with warmth and joy, but no like over the top wildness. And that's good, because I'm looking for like reasonable comfort for all, myself included, and so it felt perfect.
That's can I copy?
Yeah.
I want to copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hit Control C on that.
I mean, truly, like I just feel like it's like our guest today, like we were talking about just like finding that balance, finding, you know, the way forward through the healing that works for you. And once you find it, you know, you can really like unlock a bunch of doors to healing all parts of your life.
I know we have a big, wonderful interview with Heather, but and so much more to talk about before the interview. But I will say, listening back to our conversation and deciding to drop this one as our first interview for the new year felt so right because of the reset, the belief in yourself, there's a moment where she's like, oh, okay, what is the honest truth? And she's asking herself that to give an answer that is like honest to her. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's how I want to approach 2021.
Yeah.
I want to say what I'm feeling, and how I want to say it is with a reasonable attitude at all times.
Yeah. Honesty and authenticity and reasonableness and kindness and compassion in all areas of life would be pretty fucking fantastic.
Also, we're going to end up taking shrooms, playing Uno, and crocheting
Yes.
by February.
Definitely want to drop acid and macrame. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. What'd you guys do? Oh man, have you ever taken shrooms and used the air fryer?
Man, I knitted this whole scarf. Check it out. It's great. I like being a nerd. I like being a nerd like that with you. It's really lovely, you know?
Yeah.
It felt great. I feel rosy and glowy from it still.
That's awesome. Well, we have another geocache just past La Brea if you want to smoke some LAKEGRADE and do a little bit of treasure hunting together sometime soon.
I love that. I love that. I think it's the only way for me that I can do the geocaching, because I just don't have the patience or the attention to detail unless I'm stoned, in which case, like, you want to spend all of the time getting everything right. Like, I love getting high and cleaning my bathroom, for instance. Like, that's when I actually, like, scrub the tile grout with a toothbrush and get it all perfectly sparkling clean, because I just don't have that patience when I'm not smoking weed. So smoking some LAKEGRADE and going fucking geocaching with you sounds perfect.
It's awesome. Well, I think that's the thing I love most about having a companion to geocache with instead of going by myself, because it is really fun. Like, I'll hit the Budzilla, the hybrid. That's my favorite right now as far as their pre-rolls and bud is concerned. And I will go geocache, and it's nighttime, and I'm a dude using my phone light to search around poles and yards, and nobody's asking for that, and I'm nervous doing it. But when my companion has spelunking gear, a headlamp, and a dog, I'm happily high and excited for the hunt.
Listen, wait until you come bird watching with me when you're high. Like, this is my new thing, is being a giant fucking nerd who's into treasure hunting and geocaching and bird watching and like all of these very safe solitary activities. I think is what I'm finding, you know, that are replacing my my previous life, in which I would, you know, go to Life is Beautiful with you or whatever. But now it's like these little activities are perfect.
What you're making me think of is you know, like if last year was like the year of the dumpster fire, would be how we'd qualify it.
Sure.
This is the year of Bob Ross.
Definitely Bob Ross, patron saint of 2021 for sure. Happy little clouds, happy little trees, everything's reasonable. We're all just trying to heal and get along.
Fuck Yes, we cracked that
Nice.
code.
Oh, I dig it.
Nice.
Seriously, though, come bird watching with me. It's
I'd
awesome.
love to.
I got these amazing binoculars for Christmas, and I'm just like out there looking like a, bird watching binocular person. I feel like I have an alter ego who I'll tell you more about her another time.
Okay.
My bird watching alter ego. I'm developing her right now. I think her name
Ooh.
might be Marge or Meredith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a WIP, so we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. And I'd love to go bird watching with you because whenever you're out in nature, I've said it a million times, but like you see nature. Like it catches the corner of your eye and you're like, look at that motherfucker. And I'm like, where? And then you're like, look right there. And I'm like, how did you see that? So it's always a sparrow or a snail or a banana slug. You and nature are tied together and your eyes are drawn to one another.
Well, that's where cannabis really helps too. Like I will never forget the time when I really sort of like figured out that like a 2 milligram mint at the beginning of my day was the perfect thing for my walk to work, because I would arrive at work and I would feel totally, absolutely prepared to be in an office environment and like do my best. But walking there, I would like hear the wind in the trees and kind of like feel my heart beat a little bit. And I was just in touch with myself and the world around me in a way that was very new to me. It was right when I moved to California, and I was like, oh, this is going to be good for me. This is going to be really great. It was new to me in a different way. Like I'd only ever really like smoked at night in New York. And then I was like, oh no, this can be like an out in nature all day, all the time kind of thing for me.
Yeah, bring the plant back to where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And it's like tendrils are reaching energetically out from you to pull in the world around you in a cool, symbiotic kind of way.
You're a fucking hippie, dude.
I know. I'm a fucking hippie trapped. All right, Glazer.
Hippie trapped inside a hype beast, trapped inside a comedian, all wrapped up in one.
Speaking of Russian dolls, this whole intro is about Heather.
That's right. Well, I was just gonna say, if you were like a blunt, you would be one of those like, with the like snake of hash down the middle with the flower and then dipped in oil. That would be you.
I contain multitudes of high.
You do.
Thank you.
You
That's
totally do.
such a beautiful compliment. Wow. I contain. No, I'll roll with that. I don't need to make a pun out of it out of fucking nervousness. I'll just say thank you.
You're welcome, hippie.
I'm a hippie trapped in a hype beast. What else is popping? I know we have news. Do you want to
Yes.
hit anything before we get to the news?
I would love to hear the Grub Gazette news, because I know that the story you're bringing this week is really important and cool, and another sort of like good version of what can happen with weed in 2021. So yeah, hit us with it.
The governor of Illinois last Thursday announced more than 500,000 expungements and pardons for people of low-level marijuana offenses on their records. Peace out. Illinois is leading the charge when it comes to cannabis reform.
Fuck yes. That's
Fuck yes.
absolutely amazing, and just so right. Like that's just every time a state legalizes, that should be the de facto thing that happens. Anyone with a nonviolent cannabis offense, record expunged. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Awesome.
So I'm going to read a bunch of stuff from this article and just cut me off as we go, because there's a lot of information in here that I'm pretty excited to share. A little bit of context. The governor of Illinois' name is Pritzker. So if I transition between the word governor and the word Pritzker, it's because it's the same fucking person.
Okay.
All right.
Heard.
So, 500K pardons or expungements. And one of the quotes that really stuck out to me was Pritzker saying, we will never fully be able to remedy the depth of damage, but we can governor with the courage to admit the mistakes of our past and the decency to set a better path forward.
Wow.
In follow-up to that was, this is a burden that has been disproportionately shouldered by communities of color.
Yes.
So, oh boy, is just finally another person, I'm sure there's others, but finally, like, another person is on record as saying, we fucked up heavy. Mm-hmm. These people have been so affected by it. How dare we? The courage to make change is our responsibility.
Yeah, it's huge. I think also my understanding of what's going on in Illinois with the legal cannabis market is that it's actually really tough, and it's like a really high price point for entry, and like that the social equity programs aren't really working very well. So this is like a great start.
Interesting.
And I'd love to hear from anyone who listens who knows about what's happening in Illinois just, you know, like an on the ground report. It would be great to hear from some folks who listen to hear like what's going on there, because like I've just heard from some friends through social media and so on. I mean, maybe there's a clubhouse room we could join to learn more about it too.
Yo, that's exactly where it would be dropped.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, but
100%.
that's very fucking cool. Good on Governor Pritzker and Illinois for expunging 500. That's 500,000 fucking people who are going to have their records expunged, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they've all suffered a huge, terrible, stupid fucking amount. So
100%.
this is great news.
And on that tip of social reform that you're talking about, the other thing is, you know, they're only a year into all of these programs. And last year, 2020, they sold like They sold $1 billion
Wow.
worth of, worth of cannabis.
Okay.
So great for the community. But what they said, at least in on Marijuana Moment, that is, well, let's dig a little deeper into it, is that 25% of those tax dollars collected are designated for restorative justice grants and other funds to support substance misuse, mental health treatment. So a quarter of that $1 billion is supposed to be going towards these things that you're talking about. And it sounds like you've heard through the grapevine that these programs are a little shaky right now, though.
Oh, I mean, I think in any state that's legalizing weed, you know, there is this amount of tax dollars that are earmarked for programs to substance abuse treatment, drug education, all that kind of stuff. And I think that, you know, it's state by state, and that some states are doing better than others. My understanding is that Illinois, it's just been a rocky road, and, you know, they're navigating it as best they can. So yeah, would love to learn more.
I'm such a stoner. I heard Rocky Road and I was like, yeah, it's not a bad ice cream. I could go for some right now. Jesus Christ.
I just know when we talked to the Dance Loud duo, they were saying that things were like not that easy. Remember when we chatted with them last summer and they were like, it's kind of fucked up. Like the licenses aren't necessarily going to the right people. Weed is way too fucking expensive. You know, so like there's no state that's rolled it out with a completely, you know, easy sort of blemish-free record on like doing everything right the first time. You know, every state learns as it goes, but this is a fucking huge way to kick it off.
100%, especially in the Midwest, where I don't always trust the Midwest as it goes, because I grew up there and I've seen the forgetfulness of the people at the top.
Sure.
So I'm appreciative of Illinois leading the charge. This article goes more into like Colorado and New Jersey and other areas, but just to focus on Illinois and what they are doing to start this year after a very fruitful, it seems like, financial year in 2020.
Yeah, they made $1 billion. So yeah, definitely put some of that money back toward the fucking people who suffered to make it legal.
100%.
Thank you, guys. Where's this is reported at Marijuana Moment.
.net.
Nice.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to shout out while we're on that tip is we both got DMs from Matt Greenberg, friend of the show, and just got hired to work in the cannabis industry. So
Yes.
we got another ally making the machine work for us in a beautiful way.
Fantastic. Yes,
Congratulations,
congrats, Matt.
What else is popping? We're cruising.
I need to put more Neosporin on this damn spider bite. This thing is killing me.
Is it?
Yeah, but you know, don't need to draw attention to that.
Sometimes I'll scratch a mosquito bite until it bleeds, because then I think the poison leaks out, and then I just have to deal with a scab.
Right.
How come you haven't just scratched to bone to see what's in there?
I need to get Archie to suck on it. Is probably what I need to do. Dog medicine, you know, animal medicine.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you like hold your pet until they like leach the bad feelings out of you. You know, maybe I just need to put my spider bite on him and he'll heal that too.
That's so funny.
Dogs are medicine.
Can I tell you a story you're making me think of that's not about a dog, but it's about a spider bite or a snake bite?
Okay.
So you know Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave?
Fuck yes.
Okay.
So
he's...
Please come on the podcast.
Oh, I'll DM him.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? Gross, dude. Gross.
Huge fans, please come on the podcast. No shame spirals.
That's so gross.
No, it's fine.
Well, maybe I'll text Obama.
I DM'd our guest today to see if she would come on the podcast. Or no, you did. Wait. I'm claiming fucking.
Let's move on from name drops,
Okay.
please. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
He is part of a group called Cook County Social Club, which is a sketch group and probably the funniest improv group I've ever seen. Brendan Jennings, the funniest man I've ever seen. Tim Robinson, Mark Ratterman, Greg Hess, and they did a sketch once where I can't remember if it was Tim or Mark, but one of them got a snake bite. And they were like, oh no, we got to suck out the poison. And he's like, where is it? He's like, it's on my butt. And he goes, oh my God. Okay. I'll suck out fine. You're my best friend. I'll suck out the poison on your butt. And he's like, no, the middle. And he's like, what do you mean? He bit me right on the butthole. So it was this whole sketch about having to suck a snake bite out of
your best friend's butthole.
His friend's butthole.
This sounds like some dude humor.
It's so funny.
This sounds like some supreme guy. Guys having a great time laughing about that.
Never forget it. I probably think about that butthole sketch once a month, and it always makes me laugh.
Fucking A. I fucking love it. Can we speak about another guy thing that I think you might have going on? Is your towel situation.
So, fuck you.
I'm putting you on blast.
3 people bought me towels for Christmas.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well, I was one of them. Hello.
Natalie and my goddamn parents. Everyone bought me towels.
I think Natalie was doing it because didn't she give you a Bon Appetit subscription?
Right. And so she bought kitchen towels and a wooden spoon. It was a great gift.
Yeah.
But when you compile that with your towel choices and my own family's towel choices, message fucking received, everyone.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, there's like that old trope about like the maroon sheets and the, the guys who change them like once a year or whatever.
Yeah, Sophia's tweet.
Right. So your towel situation, I mean, you have like that weird washcloth thing next to your sink. I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It is a washcloth that I have always used to dry my hands, where after I dry my hands, I lay it flat on my bathroom like area and it dries to a hard crust, and then I dry my hands with it again. Same with my kitchen towel, same with my shower towels. I don't wash them at all because I'm only using them with clean water after I wash a part of my body. So if don't make me get into this, Jesus Christ. If I'm drying my hands after washing them with a towel, or I'm drying my body after a shower, then I don't need to wash those towels because they are only sopping up water that is already clean. Therefore, they are clean.
Yeah, but that water then gets like mildewy. And listen, the hard crust, like, don't you know the joy of the soft, fluffy, warm, clean towel?
I use Scott's toilet paper. You think I know what a nice towel feels like? I've had the same underwear and socks since I was 16 because they still work. I haven't felt something soft in years.
I am so fucking excited for the day, whenever it is, that you're like, it's now, it's today. And you go and you buy like beautiful sheets and fresh towels, and you're in your like new digs where you have a washer dryer and you like put a fresh towel in the dryer and it's all fluffy and soft and it smells all good. And then you take a shower and you come out and you rub yourself off with that fresh warm towel, and you only use it once or maybe twice because you don't want to waste water, and it's such a good time and you feel all clean. It's gonna be really nice.
You're making me realize that I'm allowed to live in a hotel inside my own home. And that has never occurred to me before.
You can make it nice. You can make it really, really nice. Yeah. Even if you don't, I mean, I don't wash my towels every single time after I use them. I probably go like, I would say 3 showers before I wash a towel.
So really we're just talking the difference between 3 years and 3 showers. Not much difference.
Yeah, not much difference.
Yeah.
Not much difference at all. I'm excited for your day of awakening when you cross the, that threshold.
Fuck cleaning them. I want to get to Damon Dash level where I just have bags of new socks to the ceiling and I just throw socks away and wear new ones every single time.
No, but that's terrible and wasteful.
I agree. I take that back.
Yeah.
But the fact that 3 people got me towels is a fucking loud and clear. Like you really gave me a cleanliness intervention.
Beautiful new towels. I mean, they look great in your kitchen. I'm excited for you to have clean towels.
It was also a gift for you. Let's make no mistake that I'm excited about those towels. I knew there was a problem when you'd use the bathroom at my place and come out wiping your hands on your pants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you think that your pants are cleaner than my goddamn choices.
Or I'm just shaking them and twirling like, I'm just going to air dry. There's like a weird crusty square in there that's just not going to work for me. I could probably use it to exfoliate my spider bite. Maybe that would be the fucking trick.
Oh, there's something in there for you.
Crusty square on the spider bite trick. Now I'm going to go with animal medicine.
Yeah. I feel like I'm flying right now. I am embarrassed about my towel situation. But I bet there's people out there who are like, yeah, dude, don't listen to them. Don't let them sway your sitch.
Live your life.
Live your life.
Don't listen to these towel shamers. Fuck them. They're like flame shamers. Don't even pay any attention. Yeah, I'm not trying to towel shame you. I'm excited for myself.
I hear you.
True fact.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's my biggest problem with the fluffy towels is I've tried in the past to get a new towel from Target, and I feel like a lot of the fluffy towels have this weird like thing on them where they don't
it's because they're not
the fucking water up. It's like a brown paper towel from elementary school that you paid $40 for.
Oh, full on. Those Target towels are like polyester blend. You need to get the like deeply, mostly, I think 100% cotton probably is the only way to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just feel like I'm pushing around the water on my armpits.
Yep.
And it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I stick with crusty washcloths.
Well, I know what to get you for your birthday. I will get you 100% big cotton towel to soak it all up, and you'll wrap yourself in it, and then you'll walk around like you're at a sauna all day. I'll be like, we have to record. Could you please put on some pants?
Could you? Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, that'll be fine. Speaking of, and then you look at my jeans, and you're like, there is a hole in the crotch. There's a hole in the pocket.
When did you wash your jeans last, Mike? What's happening?
You don't need to wash jeans. They're made of some proprietary blend that never smells.
That's true. Actually, you should never wash your jeans.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
See?
Yep. I'm
with
you on that.
There's too many fucking rules out here.
There's no rules, man. Do your thing. I like the way you do your thing. Do your thing all the time. Do it your way. I'm not here to tell you how to do it any other way.
So reasonable.
I'm just, happy to be, next to you for some of the time. And then be by myself for some of the other time.
Such a reasonable statement.
And hopefully be reasonable in both spaces, with the help of good weed.
Yeah.
Like LAKEGRADE.
Yo, LAKEGRADE is, I'm telling you, this Budzilla for me is just, it's cooking through my veins in a way that makes my body happy. I'm really appreciative of finding something that works for me on all levels at all occasions, and that's just no cap.
It's dope. I really like their pre-rolls, their 5-pack pre-rolls. It's fucking awesome. Like, I like the way they're rolled. I like the crutch. I like the way they fucking smoke. I like have one next to my TV when I grab my remote. I'll just like hit that joint a couple of times and then watch Bridgerton. It's perfect.
Bridgerton is so fucking funny.
And I'll say the Budzilla is perfect because it's like that balance, so you can like feel totally relaxed, but your brain feels inspired. So you're like awake for the TV, but your body is sort of melting. It's that perfect thing.
Yeah. Speaking of things to watch, hitting the Budzilla, because you got me a moon pod for Christmas and I was laying in it.
Yes.
My move was to smoke one Budzilla pre-roll while watching Con Air for the 9th time. And I just kept taking baby hits all through Con Air to maintain.
Perfect.
And by the end of when they... Spoil alert, I guess, if you haven't seen fucking Con Air. It's one of the greatest Nick Cage movies of all time.
20-something years old.
Totally. That sweet spot of Gone in 60 Seconds, National Treasure, Con Air, Face Off.
The Rock.
The Rock. Just heyday Cage.
Yep.
And you know when the plane crashes in Vegas?
Yes.
At the end, and it's just chaos?
And it's like they hit an armored truck and it's raining cash. It's so much fucking cash and cocaine happening in that movie. It's so good.
That's exactly when I finished pre-roll. And I was like, man, you can just time out your high with a great movie in a way that is like built for your pleasure. And it's like awesome.
It is perfect. I also really appreciated smoking that joint with you over the weekend and watching Angel Heart, which I had never, I remember, I feel like I vaguely remember when it came out because I remember it being sort of shocking.
Oh, it's a very... is dubious the right word for this movie?
I don't know, but
debaucher.
It's definitely there's a lot of debauchery.
Yes,
It's it's pretty crazy. I think they just narrowly avoided an R rating by removing like 10 seconds
X.
of film. Or X, sorry, it was R. They just narrowly, avoided getting an X. But it was like, I mean, Lisa Bonet is so incredibly smoking hot in that movie. Mickey Rourke is great. It's such a weird, fucked up, dark, twisted, kind of gory movie, but it's a very slow burn. And it was like 40 minutes into it. And I was like, are we going to make it through this? Like, I feel like nothing's really happening. We hit that joint and we were like able to kind of like focus. And then wow, I'm glad I stuck with it.
It was wild.
Kind of blew my mind. I don't know if I would recommend it for many people because it's pretty violent, but it was also fascinating and weird. And De Niro making a special appearance
With those long ass nails?
it was so good.
Come on.
Kind of. It was very weird. I don't know. Mickey Rourke was astonishing.
I have two things to add. One is, yes, if you are wanting to watch something for 2 hours where you have no idea where it's going and you want to be pleasantly baked for it, that is the type of movie for you. Two, I love that you said slow burn. I almost made a joke, but I decided not to. But it did make me think of, what if we did a show where it was like movie and TV reviews and we called it Smoke Show, and there was a category in it called the slow burn, and we just get super high and talk about Bridgerton and all of these other things.
I want to do nothing more. When do we start? Let's start tonight. Let's do it right now.
Come on.
Okay. What are we talking about? This is our new thing. Now we are doing that all the time.
Welcome to Smoke Show, everybody. This is a podcast about getting stoned and watching TV shows and movies and binging them and then talking about them with my co-host, Mary Jane Gibson.
Great. All the time. I have nothing to add. I'm just like, yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, I do want to talk about Bridgerton because that show is so interesting. It's got like this really great American take on the period drama that I think is going to make it exciting for a lot of people who just can't fucking bear, the period piece, because it's like, it's exciting and like the costume designs are amazing and the casting is fucking great. Like the royalty are black and like,
yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I feel like all period pieces before like Shondaland, or I'm speaking out of pocket on this, but like they just felt racist to watch for me.
Right. Well, yeah. They're all white casts telling stories where there are no people of color, or like the black actors are in it. They're like in there momentarily
and playing like maids and butlers and shit like that. Yeah. But on to Bridgerton, because I think on the third episode.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't seen more than the first two, but I'm fucking loving it. Another sexy, steamy goddamn thing.
Hell yes. Some sexy sex scenes. Just gorgeous, like costume design, and the lighting is really beautiful, and they're all clearly having a great time chewing the scenery together, and like it's just pretty wonderful.
What do you think really of the Duke Smolder?
The Duke Smolder is unbearably hot, and his boxing scenes are like, I'm sweating right now thinking about it. Look at me, I'm holding my arms.
You look like Molly Shannon playing Superstar to smell her pits.
Yeah, my fingers are in my armpits, and I'm like, yeah, that guy, he's great. He's very hot. He's very hot. His boxing scenes are also it's all very hot. He's really fucking hot. I'm drooling. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me pull myself together. Wipe my lips. Okay, great.
Okay, great.
Great. So Bridgerton, everyone. He's sexy. Oh my God.
Oh, you're killing me.
Yeah.
You want to get to Buds of the Week?
Yes.
Let's do Buds of the Week this week. Can I go first?
I would love it. Yeah, please go first, and while I compose myself.
Yeah, you are beet red.
I know. I can feel it. I'm flushed.
Like, okay.
Yeah, he has an effect on me. It's good. Yeah.
His audition must have been, can you memorize these lines, and how do you look when you turn around quickly?
Yep. Or, yeah, and throw a punch.
Yeah. Oh, he's just hot as shit.
He's so fucking sexy. Okay, I'm good. Please go ahead.
My butt of the week this week is Lisa Curry. She's a dear friend. Her Instagram is @Olympian Lisa Curry. And I just wanted to shout her out as my bud this week because she works so fucking hard in comedy. She's so talented. And she has a new show coming out on Sirius XM called Long Story Long. And she has these wonderful interviews with comedians where she gets you to say things that you were like, why am I saying this to you? And why is this going to be published all over the world? So she got to announce finally Long Story Long is premiering on Sirius XM's She's So Funny channel, which is channel 771. And it's dropping Thursday. So the day after this is going to be released, if you're looking for something else to listen to and you have Sirius, check out Lisa Curry's Long Story Long. I'm really proud of her.
That's awesome. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, that's my butt of the week, Lisa Curry.
Fantastic butt of the week. I'm so excited to listen. My butt of the week is a dog. My butt of the not my dog. My butt of the week is Joel Hadley's dog, who I have yet to meet, but I am so delighted that Joel has got this little guy, happening in his life, and he's all over his IG story. So follow at Brother Elephant to see Joel Hadley's puppy. He's trying out names right now. He's he kind of reminds me of Archie Moo when Archie was a puppy. He's got that kind of terrier mix energy. He's got big old feet and a sweet little face and kind of wiry hair that goes in all directions. And he's clearly like just a little bundle of love and joy. And I'm so excited for Joel. So he's my bud of the week.
That's great.
The yet to be named puppy who's going to be good friends with Archie Moo, hopefully.
Oh, nice. That's crazy because that ties into our VIB, our very important bud this week, Heather.
Yes.
And we talk about her dog. We talk about art. Like, wow, Mary Jane.
Yeah,
look how it comes
good
together.
Dog love in this episode.
There is.
Yeah, it was so amazing to talk to Heather Matarazzo, who's like, I've just admired for decades. Her career as an actor is incredible. And then to connect with her for this podcast and hear about her journey, healing and learning about herself. And she's so fucking funny.
Yes.
And
taking huge leaps.
Yeah. It was just truly like, it feels like such a perfect app to drop at the beginning of this year because I don't know, she gives me hope in so many ways. And also she fucking loves dogs.
Fuck yes. Well, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Another reasonable person out here.
Another reasonable, wonderful person.
All right. Well, then without further ado, here is our interview with
Heather Matarazzo.
I will give you the very, very, very abbreviated version of my journey with the marijuana, the weed, the Mary Jane, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the ganj.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really... I could not smoke weed in my late teens. I would become incessantly paranoid because A, it wasn't legal, and I was convinced that I was going to get arrested, even if I was smoking in my apartment in New York. And also, I ended up, like, Heather, do you tell this story? Do you tell it? Because
yes.
it's going to lead to more questions, which is all well good and fine. So I found myself in Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 21. And I was there until I was 33. And I didn't realize that the group I was a part of was a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That particular group of people.
Yeah.
Just that one small group.
And it wasn't small. It was like 600 people. And wow. I also, and that has... Listen, because, like, for fuck's sakes, maybe alcoholics aren't listening to this podcast. Who the fuck knows? Maybe they are. And it's something that I've just started to kind of grapple with, especially with the vow coming out and all of this stuff, and being, and subsequently talking with other members who have left. Alcoholics Anonymous itself as an ideal and as an idea, I think is great. In practice, I think it's incredibly dangerous. And for me and my journey, I was drinking a lot because I didn't realize that I was suffering from severe PTSD. And I was going to meetings 7 days a week. Had a commitment at every single meeting, had a sponsor who had a sponsor who had a sponsor who had a sponsor, doing the big book, doing the 12 and 12, doing the meet, like all of this shit. And I still wanted to kill myself. And I was going to therapy for years, and this therapist of mine who had 25 years sober himself had said, I think we've hit a ceiling, but have you ever... thought of working with ayahuasca? And I was like, what? And cut to me doing 2 years worth of research before I finally threw up my hands in October of 2015. And I was like, all right, fuck it, universe. If I'm meant to fucking do this, I am, because I was afraid to get in my car. I was afraid to leave my house because I thought I would drive off a cliff. And as the universe, multiverse, whatever the fuck you want to call it, works, at least in my experience in life, within 24 hours, I had a call that a person had, quote unquote, dropped out of this 10-day retreat to Costa Rica to work with this medicine, and would that be something I wanted to do? And so I found myself in February of 2016 working with this medicine for 10 days, and it completely fundamentally changed the direction and makeup of my life.
Wow.
And cut then to a few months go by, because I was going there to deal with my depression. I was going there to deal with childhood sex trauma, and a lot of that. And again, none of this is a magic bullet. It's not like, oh, I did it and all's well now. It, like, the integration is really where the work starts, or continues, as it were. And I was still having problems with sex, and my body was still freezing. I was still going numb on one side. It was a thing. And I talked with a woman who was part of that circle, and she had suggested seeing this therapist that did MDMA-assisted therapy. And so I went to see him in October of 2016, and that saved my life. I've not had suicidal ideation since. I see him about once a year. And so cut to then May of 2017, I'm like, I'm gonna try weed. I'm gonna see if I can have a new relationship with this medicine, because I look at it as a medicine, and I look at it as a friend, and I look at it as something that is incredibly beneficial. And the first time that I smoked, I got incredibly, incredibly paranoid, and I thought I was going to die. And I said to my now wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, I feel very afraid. Would you mind holding me? And for me to say something like that in and of itself was like, who the fuck am I? Who is this person that is asking for physical affection when she feels terrified? And so now my relationship with it is it is lovely. It is great, as long as I remember that it's a symbiotic relationship, and it's not me like, hey man, I'm gonna like smoke some weed and whatevs. But that everything is energy, and I say this not in like a foo-foo LA ooh way, but scientifically every single thing is fucking energy. And so I do my best to treat it with respect, and in those moments that I have a moment of forgetting, it very quickly reminds me, if that makes sense. So, hi, thanks for having me on your podcast.
The best.
The best.
The best. The greatest.
As somebody who's never taken it or used it as medicine, but is incredibly interested in it, like, how were you able to trust ayahuasca when you are coming into, and a guru like that, or whatever that person might be called, when you're coming from this group of 600 who have tried to make you rely on them for everything you are?
I mean, because here's the thing: is the experiences that led me to that space in Costa Rica in February of 2016. They were such two random things that seemingly had nothing to do with, like, somebody that I went to high school with who died. Her sister was the one that happened to know the dude that
The path.
yeah, the path. And it's been said, at least in all of the fucking books I've read, is that when she wants you to sit with her, she wants you to sit with her. And sit with her you will. And so the path is the path is the path is the path.
I have a really great group of friends when I was living in Chicago, and every year we would take as many mushrooms as we could hold together, and we always called it Path Day. And then we would just go out into Chicago, and just like every moment was a special moment, and wherever it led was exactly where we were supposed to be.
Yes. I trusted myself enough to say yes to an experience that terrified me. I'd never taken a psychedelic, hallucinogen, and entheogen in my life, ever, because I was always so afraid of losing control and didn't know what was going to happen. But anything was better than the mind that I came in with. Like, it really was the last stop on the bus for me. It was, if this doesn't work, I'm going home and I'm committing suicide. Like, that's it. Just like next week, I'm going to the DMV to get my car re-registered. It was a statement of fact. No emotions attached to it. Just really, that was it. And I think that we're very multifaceted beings, you know, like energetic Russian dolls, where you have the 2-year-old, you have the 5-year-old, you have the 10-year-old, you have the 15-year-old, you have the 20-year-old, you have the 20, like, you have all of these different aspects of self that even though we physically age and we hopefully gain some wisdom, that doesn't mean that those other energetic aspects of ourselves aren't still there. At least for me, you know, so some sense of self nudged me to say yes, you know, that like this has got to be helpful. Like, just try, just be open, and it was that gentle voice that, and maybe that's like my 90-year-old self, and we just haven't met yet. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck knows? You know? Like,
doubt.
So yeah. So that's that.
I love the metaphor of the nesting Russian doll and the sort of like the settling everyone into place and letting each of those pieces know that it's safe.
Yes.
And that it's home, and that it's safely home in the body that you have, like that's actually where you're safest and most at home. That's such a radical idea, I think, to me. You know, the times that I've felt, you know, the most frightened is when I'm not safe in my head. I'm not safe in this container that I'm in. And so I love that idea of like putting each piece into place and then saying you're safe, you're home, you're okay.
Yeah, and it's of the most fundamental importance. I mean, for me, I've only just started to feel at home in my body in the last few years. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in a space where my body was not considered mine. It was someone else's. So it was, so to even know that I had any authority or agency over my body was, even though I knew that intellectually, physiologically, that central nervous system, it didn't realize that. So everything was seemingly a threat.
You're making me think of a friend of mine who is a Jungian analyst who described to me the concept of just being a container and, you know, having a varying amount of space. And some containers are huge and others don't have very much capacity. And just watching your body of work over the years and knowing how open-hearted you were with that and how vast your whole container must have been that whole time, but it seems like there were compartments within, and maybe you're just taking out the walls to be a bigger container. I don't know if that is a
No, I mean,
metaphor that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, you know. And it's like, what is like a container within a container? It's all like Russian doll container, whatever the fuck, you know. But I always felt safest when I was working because it was the only time that I felt that I was able to adequately express my feelings. And getting to look back now, there's that great quote that. God, I'm gonna fucking get her name wrong, aren't I? I always confuse Kristen and Kirsten. Kristen Vangsness. Mm-hmm. I probably got it wrong because it's Kirsten, for fuck's sakes. But she had said to me months ago, and it stuck with me. Love the art in yourself, not yourself in the art, which I think is like a Stanislavski quote. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I'm going to actor jail. But really that thing of because I was playing a character and depending on where the character was in life, it was very easy for me to tap into the emotional body and energy of said character that I was playing, because the truth is fear is fear, love is love, joy is joy. You know, anger is anger, all of that stuff. Those are things that we all feel universally as beings.
Does that mean it's easy? I'm sorry to interrupt,
No,
but does that
okay.
just mean acting's really easy for you? Like it's like because it's your safe space, it just like it's a home because
It's easy when I'm honest.
Yeah, okay,
It's
word.
easy when I'm honest. When I'm being dishonest with myself, then I'm going to be dishonest in my work.
This makes me think of right before we were going to record with you, we watched the trailer for Stuck, and two things. One is I'm good friends with Avery Pearson, so I would like to shout him out on the pod and say, "Hey, buddy, thinking of you." Yeah. And two, if we looked at everything right, did your wife write that and then you starred in it?
Yes. These are all facts.
Okay.
This is true. And also for anyone listening that then subsequently follows me, I think that we're gonna, for fuck's sakes, I can't say anything. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Yes, my wife, Heather Turman, we both have the same first name. One listening to remember. But yes, I met my wife on that film. I love Avery, and
Did you know each other? You didn't know each other before?
No.
Whoa! Did you audition
and this was
for her?
No.
What?
And keep in mind, this is 2016. 2016.
What a year.
What a fucking year. If only, I mean, for fuck's sakes. So I shot that in September of 2016, right in between the ayahuasca experience and then the MDMA experience.
Wow.
And my dog had died in my love of my life, Henry Miller, like, first dog, we raised each other, teacher, friend, heart opener.
Did it lay on your legs at night?
I love that you say it.
I have a dog, and you're new to dogs, right?
I'm very new to the idea of this stuff. So, what's the proper terminology?
He, but then there's like some version of self that's like he could have been gender and non-binary.
Sure. We could get into nicknames too. We could go into like dog songs, you know.
That is, I can bark like I can bark like a dog. Mm-hmm. I can, legitimately, and I used to do that down the streets of New York, just randomly. I would just bark at random dogs, and they would bark back.
Fantastic.
Can we?
Please.
I'll do one. I'll try, just so it's a safe space for barking. But
Okay.
you know,
Do you want to go first?
Oh yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to follow you. Okay. Mary Jane, you in?
Sure.
Okay, yep. I'm going to try.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, am I going now?
Right.
Oh, fuck.
Holy fuck. You speak New York dog.
I do.
Wow.
I do that in a baby.
Wow.
In a baby.
This is so fun.
People are going to think that we just dropped in sound cues. That's nuts. Holy smokes.
There you go.
Wow.
I want to talk a little bit more about the idea of like having animals in your life, because it seems like, so I've had them, my family's had them, but I've never really known them, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But Mary Jane has a great dog named Archie, or Captain Poop and Shoe.
Mr.
or
Moo.
Mr. Moo.
Also, yep. Senator Ding Dong.
Senator
That's a popular
Ding
one.
Dong. Yeah.
Oh, what kind of dog?
He's a mystery mix terrier guy. 23 pounds.
Okay.
Black with silver beard. Sweet little juicy black lips and a spotted tongue. He's awesome.
I love it.
He's truly my world. He's wonderful. And I also have a cat who is problematic, but I also love him.
Okay. Like problematic, like typical asshole cat shit? Like,
Yeah, I mean, he's like a terrible cat in the sense that he's a wonderful cat. Like, he was the murderous Lord of Brooklyn until I adopted him and then put him into retirement. And now he is just old and, doesn't like mirrors and screams at 6 a.m., yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You make me think of the guy in the dark bar in the action movie who has the scar
Totally.
down his eye.
Yeah, he's
who's
totally-
seen some shit.
Yeah, he's Snake Plissken. He's old Snake Plissken. Totally. Bobo. Those are my guys. But yes, Mike has kind of like gotten to know my creatures quite well, and I feel like it's been a bit
It's
of an
been great.
education. Yeah.
It's been awesome.
But I saw your tweet today. Is that your
Yeah.
guy?
It's
the
my
ball?
lady. My
your
lady,
lady?
Nenea. Yeah.
Linnea.
Yeah. Get a dog. It'll change your life.
Mm-hmm.
It'll change your
Yeah.
life. On my saddest, most suicidally ideational day, I still had to walk my dog.
That's
I still had to
tough.
walk my dog. And literally, I mean, dog is God spelled correctly.
Ooh, love it.
Like 150%. I didn't have pets growing up. I wasn't allowed to have any. And when I got Henry, he was a yellow lab pit bull mix. He was terrified of skateboards. He had severe separation anxiety. He went through 2 mattresses with him. And love of my life.
Mm-hmm.
There was a turning point. I was shooting a movie in New Mexico, and I used to make him his food. And he would always want to... I miss him. He would always want to come with me in the car. And so I brought him with me, and he left the windows down, like, just enough. And apparently somebody opened the door to the car while I was inside to let him out, because people are fucking assholes and just
Yeah.
whatevs. And it's also my fault
Right.
because I don't think I locked the door. And he was missing for 3 days in Bumblefuck, New Mexico.
God.
And he ended up being found, and I just happened, quote unquote, to have those 3 days off. Those were my only 3 days off of work. And he was found on the 3rd day in a alpaca field. Like, there was like an alpaca farm. And that fundamentally changed our relationship, because the first 2 years that we were together, I think we were kind of looking at each other like, who the fuck are you? Like, who are you? I don't know how I feel about you. And as soon as he went missing, the devastation that I felt, like if anybody, like it's the worst feeling in the world, because you're in the complete unknown, and it's the worst kind of unknown that you can possibly fathom. And from then on, he was my fucking ride or die. And the day before I moved from New York to LA, I brought him to the vet to just have a checkup, make sure he was okay. And he had been diagnosed with a heart tumor. And they gave him between 1 to 6 months to live.
Whoa.
And I'm like, goddamn son of a bitch. Like, what the fuck? And he lived a year and a half past his quote-unquote expiration date. Mm-hmm. And when his time finally came, because I used to, I would look at him just any random old day, and I would think, I don't know how I'm going to live without you. And I would imagine how I would feel, but could never really truly get behind it and around it. I really didn't know whether or not I was going to be able to survive. And here's the truth. In 2009, I suicidal, and I was living in an apartment that had these overhead beams, and I would lie on the floor staring up at the ceiling at these beams, wondering if they would hold my weight. Then I would look at Henry. I'd be like, but who's going to take care of Henry? And so I told him that I wouldn't go anywhere as long as he didn't go anywhere. And that when he was ready to go, the exchange was that he would only go if he knew I was going to be okay. And he passed away almost a month to the day after my ayahuasca ceremony. Having a dog, having a cat, having an animal, at least for me, if you were looking to have an experience of having your heart broken wide open, if you are looking for an experience of what it means to experience unconditional love and joy and just being present, adopt, don't shop. But yeah, that's my PSA for you, Mike. That's my PSA. I don't know if I made it sound more attractive or less attractive.
Oh, an amazing amount more. And I mean, Mary Jane, please. I shouldn't be talking right now because I see how you are with Archie, and
I love. He truly is my heart outside my body, and he has saved my life. He truly has. He got me out of a place that I didn't think I was going to make it out of. So I totally feel that way about my guy.
I kind of feel like I want to talk to you forever, but I know that, you know, we got to wrap things up a bit, and it's like bittersweet, but I also just like you so fucking much, and it's so great to speak with you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I received that. Oh, that felt like a nice warm hug.
Can you plug anything that you're excited about?
Yeah, like if I mean, you can follow me on Twitter, like at Heather Matarazzo, because my last name was too long to add the O. And on Instagram, equal HBO Max is out now, and Stuck will be re-released in the next couple of months. Don't quote me on that. And really, honestly, just send good vibes and all that fucking shit as I sit here writing this fucking book for myself and and my extension of self, which I guess is all you guys.
Heck yes. Thank you. Could we end I was thinking, could we end on some dog barks and that's the last thing people hear?
Oh, yeah.
And like that'll be the end? Are you okay
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And we could all do a dog bark at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, fun. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.